Hey everybody, it's Ninth Jim back with another VGC 2020 Pokemon Sword and Shield competitive video. Today we're talking about Ferrothorn, the Grass Steel Pokemon. He is kind of old, but he's been pretty played in every single format where he was featured. It's a really great type in Grass Steel. Even when we didn't see Ferrothorn being played, we saw Celesteela being played phenomenally. And this Pokemon is just really solid. I mean, look at its typing. It's crazy. Grass Steel, it has one quad weakness in fire, one regular weakness in fighting, but then other than that, you just don't take much damage at all. You win almost every encounter that isn't fire or fighting, and that's really powerful to have on a Pokemon, especially with Leech Seed Protect, and you just don't take a lot of damage and then just heal it all off. It's really good. So anyway, into our typing. Grass Steel, immunity to poison. Insane. That's like, well, it's not big, but we have an immunity on top of all of these resistances. That's what's insane. Resistances to normal, water, electric, grass, psychic, rock, dragon, steel, fairy. So many resistances. It's insane. You can really switch this Pokemon in all the time against so many different Pokemon. You can just switch it in, not take much damage, set up some Leech Seed, go for a Protect, or even go for solid damage with Power Whip or Gyro Ball. Both really good stab moves. Really just solid Pokemon. 2 times weakness to fighting, 4 times weakness to fire. That's manageable. You lose all those encounters almost all the time. Don't really challenge them. You want this Pokemon, you want to knock out those threats, and then bring this Pokemon in, and then Leech Seed both of their Pokemon while they're down to 2 guys, and then you just don't die, and then you win everything. You win everything against them. This Pokemon is also a great Pokemon if your team is pretty weak to Trick Room. This is a great Pokemon to just add on your team. It has 22 speed after 0 IVs and Hindering Nature, which is very low, which is really good. It also gives it a little buff in Gyro Ball attack because Gyro Ball goes off of how slow you are compared to your opponent, and you're just slow. So this works really well against Trick Room Pokemon, just because they set up Trick Room. You attack before all of them. This Pokemon is slower than Rhyperior, Gastrodon, Hatterene, Reuniclus. It's slower than all of them. It's on the same speed tier as Torkoal, so be scared of Torkoal. That actually should be in my scared of Pokemon slot, but oh well, it's okay. Anyway, Iron Barb's ability is also very good. If anything makes physical contact, they take 1/8 of their maximum HP. That's a lot. That's like a lot of damage to just take. A lot of the time, Pokemon attacks just won't be doing much, and they'll be taking pretty close to what they're dealing in Iron Barb's damage. And then you just Leech Seed, and then you offset Protect with an attack, and then you just like don't take damage. You heal up with leftovers and Leech Seed, and it's just really good. Into our stats. So we have 20 speed, very low, bad, but under Trick Room good. You can use this Pokemon on Trick Room teams. You can use it without Trick Room and have no problem because it's just bulky and is a good Pokemon in or out. We have 74 HP, not bad, but to pair with 131 defense and 116 special defense, this Pokemon doesn't take much damage. It is so bulky. These are some of the best defensive stats in the game off of just like pure defensive stat. It's very good. 94 attack is really solid as well. It's a little above average, and well, for like your choice of attack, it's around average. It's very strong though, being able to send off insanely strong Power Whips. Miss a lot of them though because it's 85, and then really powerful Gyro Balls. This Pokemon just really does have a great tool kit that it can use, and it's just really good. And yeah, that pretty much sums up the overview. Let's go ahead and jump right into the build. So into the build. Ability, Iron Barbs. There's no chance you're switching that up. Iron Barbs is way better than its hidden ability, Anticipation. Anticipation is useless. Iron Barbs is not. Iron Barbs is very good. We also have item leftovers so that we can set up Leech Seed, offset Protect, get Leech Seed and leftovers. Health is very good. Into our attacks. So I talked about this a little bit so far. Power Whip, Gyro Ball, Leech Seed, Protect. All 4 I don't feel like you should change. You can maybe flex in like Iron Head instead of Gyro Ball, and if you run Assault Vest, you can't use Leech Seed or Protect, and then you use knockoff and body press. That's really why the flex moves are right there. And yeah, it's pretty self-explanatory. If you want to try Assault Vest, you switch those 2 moves. If not, keep this set. It's probably the best. Iron Head for Gyro Ball if you expect Trick Room like a lot more, since Gyro Ball plays off of your opponent's speed as well. It won't be doing that much if you are not that fast either. So just a thought. Into our stats. So this is where you can change it up a little bit. You can vary it from this build. HP 252. I think that'll stay the same. You can either invest the next into attack or defense, or even special defense, but I'd go attack or defense since it's so much more physical. All of your biggest threats are physical except Charizard, but you're not going to live Charizard if you invest into your special defense anyway. And but yeah, for our build today, we're going 252 into attack so that we can just deal more damage with Power Whip and Gyro Ball. I was running some calcs, and it seemed like even if I invested into defense or special defense, I still die to just about every encounter that you would lose anyway. You get to maybe protect a little bit from Swagger Mudsdale and maybe a little bit from Conkeldurr, but I still think you just lose those matchups in general anyway. So I don't think there's really much of a difference. Like I think it's worth more to just invest in an attack, settle with those losses. You just are fine with those losses, and you just go into attack. So, and then I also have Brave Nature for plus attack and minus speed. That way we're just the slowest we can be and dealing the most damage we can be. If we could be a nature that gives us HP, we would do that, but that would be what it is for that would be the preferred nature for so many Pokemon. They just don't have that in the game. Into our partners, so Ferrothorn is a pretty generic Pokemon to have. A lot of teams like to have a Fire, Water, Grass core, and I've talked about the importance of this before. It gives you pretty much just basic type coverage across the board. Not across the board, but it gives you a lot of really solid type advantage in general, and Ferrothorn is one of the most common Pokemon if you're using that. There's a pretty common tactic called the ARF core, which is Arcanine, Rotom-wash, and Ferrothorn, and it's just a Fire, Water, Grass core with the 3 most basic Fire, Water, Grass Pokemon in the game: Arcanine, Rotom-wash, and Ferrothorn. That's why those 2 Pokemon are here, synergetic. I like Fire, Water, Grass core. It's really good. It gives you, I'm not going to say it again, it gives you good type coverage. I did say it again. Anyway, it's good in general. I like it a lot. I put it on most teams. Even if you have things like Whimsicott with Energy Ball, that counts. You know, as long as you have something with that attack, it doesn't have to be stab. It's good if it's stab, but it doesn't have to be. Anyway, the rest of our synergetic Pokemon are pretty much just whatever you want. This Pokemon really just fits on your team. If you don't like Trick Room, if you need something for Trick Room, Ferrothorn's a pretty good option to just throw on there. You see people throw something like Gastrodon, Conkeldurr, or Ferrothorn on there, and it just makes sense. It's just a slow guy that can play in Trick Room really well. So we have Togekiss and Dragapult. This is just something that you'll want to play. It's just a very generic team core, or a lead is Togekiss, Dragapult, whether it's offensive Togekiss or offensive Dragapult, and then the other is support or both offensive. And yeah, Ferrothorn works on that as well, obviously. So anyway, into our scary Pokemon, Charizard is a mess. Charizard kills us sometimes through Protect. Yeah, you heard that right, guys. That thing kills us. I don't ever challenge Charizard ever. You just you lose that encounter. Conkeldurr, you usually will lose that encounter. Drain Punch is pretty bad. Even though we deal like solid damage against it, it just heals it back. They do like 75 to 80% with Drain Punch, and we do 50% with Power Whip, and we miss more than them. So we're gonna lose that encounter. Arcanine also just OHKOs us, whether it's special or physical, it's gonna kill us. And Mudsdale, Swagger Mudsdale, close combat or superpower, I think it's superpower, kills you. Plain and simple. It's dangerous. So onto our speed tiers. This is pretty small and self-explanatory. Overall, everything is pretty fast compared to us, as we are the slowest Metamons in the game. We're down here at 22 with Torkoal. Ferrothorn and Torkoal hit 22. Slow boys. I mean, there's things like Pinkerton under as well, and that's really it. 27 is Gigalith and Dusclops, and 30 is Hatterene. And 31 has Snorlax, Runerigus, Colossal, Copperajah, Reuniclus. They're all faster than us. After Trick Room is set, we're faster than them. Pretty self-explanatory. I don't think I have to explain this much more. And onto our damage calcs. I know that I touched on speed tiers for like very, very short. But that's all I'm going to do. Onto our damage calcs. So we have Swagger boosted Mudsdale +2 max invested Adamant Max Knuckle into us hits 101 to 120%. Now this is a guaranteed KO. However, if you invest into defense, you will live this first attack. However, with our max attack, we only do 43 to 52%. So even if you take all of your attack out and then put it into defense, yes, we'll live the Mudsdale first attack, but then we'll die to 2 attacks and can't OHKO or can't knock out in two attacks. We already only have like a 10% chance to knock out in two hits. So I would just try to avoid this matchup. If it's stamina, then it's like okay. You know, Power Whip will do like 40 to 50% and then 30 to 40% and then like less and less, and we can maybe win that matchup. However, Max Knuckle, its superpower is still going to do insane damage into us. So there's no, like, I would just try to stray from this matchup if you can. Yeah, because Mudsdale will typically win in my opinion. We also have Conkeldurr, Drain Punch hitting for 66 to 80%. This is Drain Punch, so it also heals a bunch. Power Whip, I know that is not there, but imagine the damage calc is there. Power Whip does around 40 to 50%. 55, I think, percent is at max. And it heals a very big majority, so it heals half of that, so it goes 66 to 80%, meaning it heals the 33 to 40%, and then, so we're realistically doing like 10 to 15% at most if it Drain Punches, so we lose that matchup as well, is what I'm saying. And Charizard, special attack, max attack, or max special attack, solar power, max flare in sun, does 430% to 500%. This is insane. Max moves through protect, do I think 25%? Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments. If you know exactly, I couldn't find it when I was looking this up, but I've heard 25% before, and I think that's correct. But let me know in the comments if that's incorrect. But if it's 25%, that means it has a very high chance to kill you, and it's gonna kill you through protect, which is actually just absurd. So like, don't challenge Charizard like at all. It's not worth it. Then we also have 0 special attack Arcanine Flamethrower. This is just to show off how weak we are to fire. This is 0 investments, no ability boosted, nothing boosted at all. Flamethrower Arcanine into our Ferrothorn. 87.5 chance to OHKO. It does 99 to 120%. It's going to kill us. Don't challenge Arcanine. Don't challenge Charizard. Don't challenge anything that has a fire type attack, really, is all I'm saying. Mystical Fire on a whole lot of Pokemon is scary as well. Just Ferrothorn is in a bad position against anything fire. And it's pretty unfortunate that a lot of special attackers just got Mystical Fire this gen. Things like Sylveon, Gardevoir, all these guys just have that. So keep that in mind with Ferrothorn. But if you can get rid of those and then bring out Ferrothorn, you're just in a good position. So honestly, just positioning is very, very key with this Pokemon. It is in Pokemon in general, but this Pokemon really, really gets a lot of mileage off of that. It also has great switch-ins in general against other things, so you can position really easily. And Power Whip into a Rhyperior does 49 to 58%. This is Dynamaxed Rhyperior, so yeah, I mean, only do it when you know you're gonna kill it, because you don't want to activate his weakness policy. However, if we are under Trick Room, we attack first. If we're not under Trick Room, we attack second. So if you are under Trick Room, you can like attack with that in Gastrodon, and then you should win that encounter, since Rhyperior is 40 and Gastrodon is 39 and this is 22. So we get to just outspeed that under Trick Room and just like two-shot it with super effective attacks, which is a good idea and a bad idea if you don't kill. Yeah, anyway, that's about it for this video today. That's all I have is Ferrothorn. This was a pretty easy video to put together because I've used Ferrothorn on like every single gen that it's been allowed. So yeah, I kind of just knew what I was talking about for... I like Ferrothorn a lot. The Pokemon's really good. The Pokemon has insane switch-ins, so you can use this Pokemon defensively or offensively, although defensively is key. You know, Leech Seed Protect is really, really powerful with leftovers as well, and setting off like burns or any status beforehand into things. They just do no damage. They just do nothing, you know? That's pretty much all I'm saying. Ferrothorn can be made insanely bulky. This Pokemon can really be amazing on your team. A Grass, Fire, Water core is very, very powerful. Anyway, that's enough of my rambling. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this kind of content, like and subscribe. If you want to see guys in the future, go ahead and comment them down below. And thank you so much for watching, and goodbye.